Wands. Very different from the Four of Wands.
Tis.
As opposed to the kind of the Two and Three of Wands that somehow kind of, I don't know, they join up for me, the Two of Wands and the Three of Wands, but the Four of Wands and the Five of Wands, I just kind of like feel, oh, they are so totally different.
Honeymoon's over.
Absolutely, yeah. Oh no, I mean the Five of Wands for me is, well, traditionally, do you see it as a kind of conflict?
Yes, absolutely. Oops, I forgot to share my screen. There we go. Let's see. Let's let everybody else see it. Absolutely as a conflict.
Yeah.
Bit of chaos
Yeah.
and too many people shouting for their own way. Kind of like too many chefs and not enough sous chefs. I don't know.
I've got to say, this card is one of the cards that I refer to a lot in normal life. Like when I'm going, I'm just feeling, hang on, like I'm just feeling 2 Five of Wands. I need to kind of, I need to kind of get some clarity. I just use it as a figure of speech a lot.
And I love the way you said, I'm feeling Five of Wands, because when you get overwhelmed or you've got so many conflicting thoughts in your head or so many things to do and they're all up in your head vying for attention, I forget that this doesn't have to just be people. It can be a feeling, it can be an event.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've heard it is obviously that there's no leader. It's like a lot of people all kind of contributing to something, but no one's taking charge. No one is sort of pinging out as the leader. That, I mean, that could be a good thing in a sense. It's like a communal activity.
It's just all over the place.
It is all over the place. It does feel like it needs to be put in order.
I mean, feel that any kind of project needs some sort of leadership just to guide it. Doesn't have to be leadership in the sense that somebody's bossy, just that, even kids when they're playing, whole bunch of kids, you've got that one kid that's saying, let's do this,
Oh my God. Do you know what this is just kind of reminded me of? This is a really lovely story, and it's not a tarot story, but I've just seen this right now in this card. But I live in Cambridge, and there's this big kind of grassy area called Parker's Piece. And apparently, years ago, there was a big kind of football match, and I'm talking a long time ago, right? Happened on Parker's Piece, but where all these football teams came, it might have even been from different countries, but from all different areas to do this big kind of football league thing. And they all sat down on that day and decided what the rules were going to be for the game of football once and for all. And that's where it was decided, like down the road from where I live, on Parker's Piece, because there were just too many people playing the game and nobody really knew what the actual rules were. And I think that's fantastic. And isn't that just that card? Or maybe that's the Five of Wands reversed. The sorting out
the sitting down and sorting it out.
Yeah. So I just suddenly thought of that there. It's never occurred to me before. But I sometimes see this card as like a ball of wool or a ball of string that's all got in a knot, and you have to sit there and unravel it,
Yeah.
Feels like that. Or a necklace or a chain that's all like got itself, And often these things, it can be sorted out if people just step back and just let one person kind of straighten it all up, then you can all kind of carry on. It's not necessarily violent. But to me, this is a lot less violent than the Five of Swords.
Oh God, yeah. It is definitely because they could be playing, but
Yes.
one thing that I have seen with newer students is that there's just some kind of contagion in the world right now where everybody has to put a softer slant on everything and make everything nice. So a lot of the newer students who have that mindset don't they want this to be kids playing. They want this to be a fun card. It can be kids playing, but don't
Yeah.
get locked into that because this can be a super violent card as well. They're not listening to each other, and when people don't listen to each other, things
Yeah.
escalate. There's nobody in charge. It is pure chaos. Whether
Yeah.
it's kids playing, even kids playing can turn into some pretty violent stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
if there's not an adult to supervise and say, play nice. So just try not to get into the fluffy bunny mindset where this is always, oh, they're just playing, because there are times when you'll get this card. Tarot has to cover everything that happens in life. And let's be
Yeah.
real, life
Yeah.
has arguments.
And
Life,
often arguments are to do with chaos and misunderstanding and being overwhelmed and kind of not being able to see the wood for the trees, like when you feel like that, you make irrational decisions. You,
yes.
you you make the wrong choice because you didn't see what the right choice was. It's just utter confusion, bedlam.
Yeah, yeah. And this card is very indicative of that. It can also, as I was saying, it excuse me, it can be children playing. It can
Yes.
also be saying, go play some sports, go find a
Yes.
sport. They're
A team game.
yeah, hopefully more organized than this one is.
Yes. Yeah. Wow.
What
I
about
mean,
him?
and I like it reversed as well, because that does feel it's to do with kind of getting to. I almost feel if that card came up reversed, depending on the question, I might say rather than just keep carrying on doing what you're doing, you'd be better off setting aside a morning to just make lists and organize things rather than just keep plowing through and hoping you're going to get things done in the chaos. You know, sort things out. That would be how your time would be better spent. It would be more productive if that came up reversed.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I could see many mornings of mine where I should be getting that in reverse.
Yeah. Yeah, I could honestly say I feel like the 5 of Wands upright quite a lot. So I wanted to do a little reading off of a deck of cards I bought a long time ago, that apparently I was quite lucky to get this. I bought this deck quite a long time ago, and the only way I could find this deck was to buy it secondhand, because apparently it's out of print and I paid quite a lot of money for it. So somebody might leave a message saying, oh, it's available on Amazon now or whatever. But at the time, it was a rare deck. And it's called Tarot Affirmations.
Oh.
Okay. And it is exactly the Rider-Waite deck, but each card comes with 5 affirmations that relate to the energy of that card. And I thought that might be quite nice to share that, because I think everyone can relate to the 5 of Wands over something or another on quite a lot of the time. If it's not to do with your job, it could be to do with your relationship or how you're living, or just making decisions. It's like we feel like this a lot. So these are the suggested affirmations from the Tarot Affirmations deck for the 5 of Wands. Okay. I am challenge, movement, and change. So that's kind of almost saying that one is embrace the challenge, use the challenge to sort of like move forward, and that will kind of like ultimately allow you to change, but you have to go through the challenge first. Sometimes things have to get worse before they get better. So if that is the case, go with it. I am challenge, movement and change. The next one. I deal courageously with the confusion, frustration, uncertainty that result from developing new ideas.
I like those because people are resistant to change even when it's good for them.
Yeah. So sometimes confusion and all that, sometimes, things sometimes do have to get worse in order to get better. Like you do have to kind of like go with it, right? Next one. I find that creative conflict can be a source of positive energy and productive ideas.
I like that. Yeah.
Creative this is nice, conflict. Isn't it? It's quite thought-provoking, this Affirmations Tarot. I value the new abilities and resources that emerge from breaking away from useless, outdated ideas and values.
Oh, dang. I need to find this deck. I've heard of it, but now I want it.
I know. And this is, as I say, this is different from keywords. These affirmations can be, you could reword them to fit in with your own thing. And the last one is, I am finding ways to remain confident and focused in the midst of shifting priorities and personality development.
Man, those make you think.
It's good, isn't it?
That is amazing. Oh, wow. I need to go find that deck.
There you go. Tarot affirmations for positive growth and change.
And see, that really gave, like, sometimes when that Five of Wands comes up and it is chaos and confusion and conflict, those affirmations can help resolve or at least accept the chaos, the conflict. That's good advice on those cards.
It's part of the journey. Yeah. I think it's great, and it was good to do this. Like what we're doing with all different decks, and it reminded me that I have this deck, and at one time I used to use this. I used to do a affirmation. What I used to do, and this is a little tip for people who might be able to get hold of this deck, I would do a card reading for someone, and if there was one particular card that sort of shone out as the kind of like the star player, I said, I will get you an affirmation on that card to take away with you from this reading to work with. And then I would go with this deck and sometimes slightly adapt it to fit in with their particular situation. It's somehow, it's out now.
That's amazing how many decks that we have. I'm like this too, because I was going through my decks. I was like, where are half of my decks? And then you reminded me today where they are. You're not even in the house, but yeah. But how many decks we get that don't get any kind of love or use because we're so busy and sitting on a shelf like that. So I'm gonna look for that one. I like that.
No, I must admit, when I bought it, and I'm going back a few years, it cost quite a lot of money, but like everything, it's just if you see it at the right time and the right price, it's worth having sort of in your repertoire, as it were. So yeah. So anything else particularly on the Five of Wands that kind of
oh yes, I wanted to share my favorite Five of Wands. This one just really shows the chaos. They're grown men, they're blindfolded, one of them just
pinata.
It's a beehive.
Oh, is it? It's not a bit. It looks like a pinata.
It's a beehive.
Oh my god! Wow. What deck's that then?
This is out of the Modern Spellcasters deck.
Oh, okay. Yes.
All right.
Marvelous. So, are we done with the Five of Wands for now?
I think we are, but if anybody has any questions or anything to add or wants to know any further thoughts from us, be sure to leave a comment, like and subscribe, please. It helps keep us going, clearly. And just keep us informed if you need anything or want anything.
One other kind of little thing that I've noticed, going with the creative side of the wands, you know, they could be constructing something, you know, you rather than playing or fighting, it could be one of those kind of like they're trying to build something. And that bit IKEA, you know, like IKEA furniture, and it's like this bit goes here, where does that bit go, that sort of thing. I mean, it really could be that.
It very much could be.
Yeah, so let's not forget the creative side of the wands as well, and a bit of like teamwork. Will they ever actually manage to kind of get that wardrobe up?
I think, okay, you just spurred a memory. We were reading for a business, and they were trying to find out how to get more teamwork in their, you know, how to get their employees to work better, and that card came up. And it was very much you know, get one of those vacations that teaches team building, where they have to do things and learn to trust each other. So it was really funny when that came up.
So that is, yeah, marvelous. Marvelous, yeah. Now I'm starting to see that now as all sorts of kind of activities. It's a little bit like a group of people trying to do a dance routine, and some of them are getting it wrong and crashing into each other, all that sort of thing. It doesn't necessarily, it's almost anything that's in its stages of creativity, and when people are still trying to develop some level of expertise at it and put it into order, it's kind of like, well, it's worth it. You have to kind of get past that, like learning the tarot. It's like, oh my god, what does that one mean? You have to get past that stage in order to actually see what it is that you've really out to accomplish.
I really love it for learning Aikido. I know that seems weird, but I love for learning how to do Aikido or martial arts, but mainly.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
See, and that's why that one is so tough, because it can be so many things. But if you know your cards and you play with them and you practice with them, you'll know what they're saying to you when you came out. When they come out, it takes time. It takes time. But if you're not willing to invest the time in your cards, then maybe you shouldn't be a reader.
This is basically saying you have to practice. You have to practice. And we all make mistakes and we all get confused.
Yep. So, wow, that 5 said a lot.
Absolutely loads.
Think I had a Gemini moon?
We could be here all day if I get my mythology blinking. Can we just have a look? Let me just have a look and see what my symbols are on my celestial.
I would say mutable fire.
I would say mutable fire as well. It's actually Jupiter in Leo. So Jupiter does rule Sagittarius, but they've put it in Leo.
That could be because Leo would probably be more confrontational than Sagittarius. And there's some confrontation going on in that card. But Leo's, you don't see any blood being drawn in that card. So it's more barky. You know what I mean? And a torch? Or is that a chalice?
It says crater. It sounds like a volcano, actually. It's got the word crater on it. It's not actually a picture of a volcano, but it's like a cauldron bubbling over.
Huh.
Food for thought there. No mythological creatures, but yeah.
Darn, no stories for me to tell. No.
We'll see you soon, Sharon.
All right.
And we'll move on to the wonderful Six of Wands.
All right. Bye.
Bye for now.